Welcome to Leadership Labs. I'm Louise and Maurice, leadership mentor and creator of the Academy for Holistic Leadership. In Lab 3, you learn through interactive NLP-based activities. You practice human-centered leadership in action, applying emotional intelligence in real-time situations. All the resources I mention in this professional training are free and linked in the description below. Let's get started. In this lecture, we're going to focus on step number 3 of session 3. Again, 15 minutes. And that team-up procedure, the neuro-linguistic programming technique that we've been focused on is anchoring. Now, anchoring in neuro-linguistic programming is not the same as anchoring in psychology. Anchoring in psychology is confirmation bias, whereas anchoring in NLP is when you set up a stimulus response pattern so that you can feel the way you want to when you need to. Anchoring is the process of associating internal responses with external triggers. Now, this is where this interactive activity really takes this a step further, because quite often in neuro-linguistic programming, people are saying, okay, well, anchor in and find someone who is confident and then go into their body and feel like doing what they're doing. Well, that's all great and fine, but your client still hasn't seen themselves as being confident. And that's where I like having them create an avatar. And that's where this free resource allows them to create themselves. And they still might have a person in mind who is their ultimate confident person, and they might be able to pull character traits from them. But in creating this avatar, this is where they get to pull forward everything that they had discussed in session number 1 and session number 2. In session number 1, it really was having that new perception of their inner world. And in session number 2, it was about really having them see those experiences and the submodalities. Well, this is where now they get to create that avatar. As they're ready to create their character, they choose the sex of their character. If they just click on random character, anything's going to come up. So if you are coaching a male, he might want to choose this. However, he might want to choose a female character because he might want to embody some of the characteristics that a female has and vice versa. So you allow your client to choose whatever character that they want because of the embodiment. Yes, they might be a female and need more masculine character traits or see themselves in that way. So just allow them to choose. But I'm going to choose a female character, and then it walks you through the tutorial. Select your character's skin tone, and they might choose a different skin tone, but you just allow them to choose the character. And then it just comes up, and then you can add pick a category and click on an option from the list to open a selection of items for your character to try on. So you might choose a different head, okay, and different ears, the color of the eyes, the pupils, the nose, the mouth, the hair. All right, they can choose maybe, a different hair, maybe long hair, or maybe pigtails, or whatever that look is. And this is where most people definitely have fun with this. They can have freckles. And this is where they can also choose the emotion, the face. They might want to be a little bit more angry, or they might want to smile. They might want to have that surprised look. And then they can choose accessories. Maybe they want to smoke. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to have an eye patch or glasses. And again, this allows them to just have fun. I'm not liking the wig that I chose, so I might choose, a short hairstyle. But then you can really see that surprised look. But the emotion, they might want to choose something that, oh, yes, they have that serious look on their face. And then the torso, they can have shoulder pads. Okay. So you can see where this can be a lot of fun. And that's what you want your clients to do. You want them to create that confident avatar and the whole look that they can embrace, that this avatar is who they choose to be, and they can anchor into the look, the feel, the emotion of this avatar when they have to go into challenging moments. And you can have them refer back to the mind map. So maybe the environment, maybe when they are with their family, they need to be a little tougher, they need to be a little bit stronger. And this is something where you can have them create that character that is theirs, that they embody, that they've created. All right, have fun with that. And again, 15 minutes, they will get an opportunity. Again, this was the URL that you sent them. They would have had an opportunity to create. If they already created their avatar before the session, then you can just move through it and have them describe for you, all right, is this a confident avatar? Why did you choose that? Explain that. And then they can really own the avatar that they created. All right, let's continue. In the next lecture, we will look at step 4 to help them make those connections. You'll walk them through more questions. Let's continue. This is so much fun. That last lecture, we looked at the online resource. Well, in step number 4, we pull that forward 10 minutes. You end with team up performance confidence steps. Performance, this is where your clients get to implement what they've learned. The phrasing that you use to begin step 4. Now that you have more insight, follow these steps to apply what you have learned. And they follow the steps. Reviews. They had an opportunity to use that online resource, developing their avatar and really embodying. We say embody so much, but sometimes people don't have a visual of what that means. And we tell people, especially a neuro-linguistic program, choose someone else that's confident, because you can't possibly be confident. Choose someone else. Well, that's where I love that empowered approach. And I want people to create their own version of confidence based on the character traits that they want, the character traits that they see themselves, and the ones that they're comfortable with using right now. Because it's about baby steps. If you push your clients to be someone that they're not, then there's going to be incongruency. And that's where cognitive dissonance comes in. Because of that incongruency, they're like, no, they're not buying it. Whereas when they develop their own, then it allows them to review that and, yeah, they developed it. Of course they're going to connect with it. And then the opinions that they have of themselves, but also the opinions that other people have of them. And are they going to allow those opinions in anymore? They have an opportunity to say, no, I'm not going to. They can anchor in a different opinion. And they can anchor in different comments, but also what they want to anchor in, the comments that used to bother them. And especially ones that just pulled their confidence down, the ones that were humiliating, the ones that were critical. Now they can anchor in a new state. When they hear that, they're just going to be calm. And they're going to be different. They're going to respond in a more empowered way. And then feedback. This is where they always want to be coming back to that feedback, but using it to feed forward who they choose to be and anchoring in that different process. And this is where just these performance confidence steps and helping them to move up these steps with those questions, remember you've downloaded it, that really is an approach where they feel that they have a different role to play. And they have a whole entire inner team that's now prepared. And that avatar is going to help them to move beyond blocks and obstacles. And that is the avatar that they can move into. It is the best version of themselves. All right, speaking of the best version of themselves, we will look at step number 5 and how we wrap all of this up. Let's continue. Thank you for completing this Confidence Coaching Leadership Lab. Every skill you practice here strengthens your ability to lead with clarity, confidence, and grounded presence in real-world situations. If you'd like to continue developing your human-centered leadership and coaching skills, you'll find additional resources, leadership labs, and professional training. Links in the description below. I appreciate you being here and investing in your growth as a leader.